This is Napa Fan here, and this is the finale race in season number 1 of the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. We are here at the Kansas Speedway for the Krispy Kreme 240, a 24-lap race on this 1.5-mile speedway, somewhere near Kansas City, Kansas. It's not actually in Kansas City, Kansas, but it's like on the outskirts. I think it's Kansas City, Kansas, though. But anyways, got a good points battle coming into this race. Basically, it's a two-car battle for the championship. Points leader heading into this race is Nick Smith. He is 6 points ahead of Davey Johnson in the number 54. Wolfgang Stone is 26 points back. He has a theoretical chance of winning, but Wolfgang Stone does start behind both Nick Smith and Davey Johnson in this race, so I don't think he's going to be a factor. But if Nick Smith and Davey Johnson crash out, and Wolfgang Stone finds his way into the top 5, Wolfgang Stone's going to get that championship. But right now we're going to focus on Nick Smith and Davey Johnson in this race. Nick Smith needs to finish within 6 positions ahead. I just don't know anymore. Nick Smith needs to finish within 6 positions of Davey Johnson. Davey Johnson would need to finish at least 6 positions ahead of Nick Smith if he wants to at least tie for the championship. If he's 7 positions ahead of Nick Smith, Davey Johnson will win the championship. So hopefully you can get that straight. I think I kind of like it with the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. When we head to the final race, whoever finishes the highest out of 4 drivers wins it. It's nice and simple. It's not really fair, but it's simple and very easy to understand. That's why when it comes to the finale races in these other series, I usually ramble on and I don't even know what I'm talking about. It's just a mess. But anyways, I kind of like it that way. It crowns a true champion, and that's how it should be done. But anyways, it's Dean Wickard out front of the number 25. Alongside him, it's Jesse Turner. We have Garrett Sinor, Julian Quintero, Trey Bartow, John Arndt, Zachary Fitzwater, Reagan Whitlock, Nicholas Gratton, Johnny Bryant, Austin Spencer, Nick Smith, who is the points leader heading into this race, Blaine Keys, Tristan Allen, Grayson Acevedo, the guy who's trying to catch Nick Smith, Davey Johnson, needs to finish 7 positions ahead if he wants to clinch the championship. Nicholas Samadillo, John Andrews, Philip Goldberg, Mason Powers, Matt Tuck, Tyler Selzman, Harry-Joe Irvin Alonso. Wolfgang Stone has a slight chance of winning the championship, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Cole Baker, Oscar Ramirez, Ryan Madden, Dan Park, Jake Ferguson, Stuart Gratton, and Jordan Newman. That's the full field starting here today at the Kansas Speedway for the Krispy Kreme 240, the final race in season number 1 of the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series, presented by Krispy Kreme. And on Monday, we get to start the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and I can't wait. But hey, we got to finish this season out here, and it's going to be a good one here in the ARCA Racing Series at Kansas. And I'm looking forward to see who can win this championship. I don't know who's going to win it, but it's most likely either going to be Nick Smith or Davey Johnson. I'm just going to have to see. Dean Wickard, he was the points leader throughout a majority of the early part of the season, but was not able to really hold that points lead too well. Had a lot of poor finishes late in the going, and found himself kind of deep in the points, nowhere near the championship hunt. He doesn't have a chance, unfortunately, but he starts on the pole, and he leads us to the green flag here at Kansas. He has Julian Quintero right behind him in the number 64. Trey Bartow in the 10 on the inside. Jesse Turner on the outside. The outside lane does not get a good run here at Kansas. It's the inside lane where you want to be, especially through the corners. But we're mainly going to be focusing on the number 7 and the number 54. They're not too far off each other. If that number 7 gets stuck on the outside and the 54 keeps that inside lane going for him, it's very possible that that 54 can overtake the 7. Heading into the last race that we've had here in the ARCA Racing Series, which was at New Smyrna, Davey Johnson was the points leader by 1 point heading into that race. But Davey Johnson did not have the best of races at New Smyrna. He fell back by 6 points off of Nick Smith. Nick Smith was leading in the points heading into Kentucky. He lost it to Davey Johnson, but he regained it back in New Smyrna. We may possibly see another switch for the points lead here in this race, and that would be for the championship if that switch were to happen. But right now, Nick Smith looks pretty safe on the inside lane. He would not want that number 4 of Tristan Allen to get to the inside of him, and he is not letting that happen, and there does appear to be a problem on the number 66 of Garrett Sinor. Maybe not. Checking his miles per hour there. I think he's okay. It did appear that he was slowing down a little bit there, and I'm not sure if there was a problem or not, but he was holding up a line there, and that slowed down this pack, and Davey Johnson has not gotten out of this pack yet, but the number 7 of Nick Smith has. Now, we still have 21 laps to go on this race. There's plenty of time for Davey Johnson to catch up, but he's going to get put on the outside lane. That is not a good place for that number 54. There goes Austin Spencer. Going to be his last race for quite a while here on Napa Fam. Did not make the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season 4 sign-ups. I'm not entirely sure where he is. But, hey, if you're watching this, hope everything's going okay. Love to have you back here racing on Napa Fam. He's one of the best drivers, the all-time winningest driver here on Napa Fam. And it's going to be hard doing the Chick-fil-A Cup Series without him. Anyways, to the point, it is still Dean Wickard out front in the number 25. I'm going to assume that he's led every lap so far in this race. I could be wrong. I haven't really been paying attention to the scoreboard. But Dean Wickard doing a good job in this number 25, trying to win the final race of the season here in the ARCA Racing Series. He's got Jesse Turner right behind him. Trey Bartow in the 10. Oh, somebody just blew up Jesse Turner. Man, that one hurts. Jesse Turner probably one of the most. He's done a lot here on Napa Fan. Let's put it that way. He won the first ever race on Napa Fan officially, the first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, a Daytona 500 champion, Season 2 Chick-fil-A Cup Series champion. But right in the middle of the corner, he blows up, and I do not believe we're going to end up with a caution because he stopped on the apron, so that's not going to trigger a caution. But that is a very tough break for the number 80 of Jesse Turner. He was looking to get a really good finish here today, but problems on lap 6 of the race going to knock him out. I think it was lap 6. Yeah, it was lap 6. Nick Smith, he's ready to win a championship. 4th place right now in the number 7. Davey Johnson in the 54, still stuck on the outside right now. Last time by, running in 14th. And because Jesse Turner blew up, Dean Wickard pulled away to a huge lead in the number 25. Huge lead in that car. Julian Quintero got a second back off the leader in the number 64 right now. See if he closed in this time. He did. Now less than the second for the number 64, so kind of hard to pull away at any track in NR 2003, basically. But especially these mile-and-a-half tracks, it's kind of hard to pull away. Now here at Kansas, unlike Atlanta, especially Atlanta is a track, when we race there, we get a lot of passing. The passing is unbelievable at places like Atlanta. But when we come to mile-and-a-half tracks like this, especially Kansas, they're spread out, and they can stay up front for quite a while. But they can still pass. I kind of like this style of racing where they're not passing every single lap, and you kind of can almost predict, who's going to take the lead, on a certain lap. Here, you never really know what's going to happen. You never know if they're going to be able to surpass the guy or not. But they're definitely closing up to him here. Julian Quintero really closed the gap on Dean Wickard that time, and I think this 64 is ready to get a win. Got Trey Bartow in the 10. And Nick Smith running in 4th place as Davey Johnson right now runs in 17th. When Davey Johnson won in Kentucky a couple races ago, it seemed like it was his championship to win, but a poor performance at New Smyrna has put him in a pretty bad hole. And looks like he's having another poor performance here at the Kansas Speedway, and that is definitely hurting the number 54 in this championship run. Nick Smith right now running in 4th place. But this thing is not over. We're not even halfway through this race yet. But it does appear that Nick Smith's going to eventually get 3rd here because Trey Bartow's going to open a hole underneath of Julian Quintero. Or is he? No. And there goes Tristan Allen to the inside of Nick Smith. Nick Smith might lose a couple positions here in the number 7. Now, I'm going to say this right now. It is definitely not over, because most of you probably know what happened in the finale race of Season 2 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Warren Henniger, he had that championship won. He was in the top 5, top 10 most of the race, but right near the end of the race, the last 10 laps, Jesse Turner, who had a problem on the last caution, had to come in. He was in the back of the field in the final restart. Turner moved his way through the field, and somehow Warren Henniger got stuck on the outside, and Henniger fell back, and Turner was able to get, I think, a 9th place finish in that race to win the championship. So that same thing could possibly happen to Davey Johnson. But Johnson has not been able to do much in this 54, and he's still stuck in 17th place. He's going to lose another position here to Dan Park. I will say this, Kansas is totally different from Homestead. Kansas is a little calmer than Homestead, and they stay in their same positions a lot easier than they do at the Homestead Miami Speedway. To be honest with you, I didn't really realize how boring this racetrack actually was until I had that Super Truck race yesterday, and it kind of, was boring, There goes Julian Quintero to the lead, and the good thing about this racetrack, we do at least get a little passing here. There goes the 64. The 10 has a very good run on the inside, drafting that 64. The 10 of Trey Bartow is going to give to the inside of Dean Wicker. We only have 10 laps to go here at Kansas. And I don't think the championship battle is going to be much here, because Nick Smith is on the inside once again. Davey Johnson has been stuck on the outside most of the race. He might have gained a couple positions there. He's still shown in 17th position. Yeah, we got a really big group of cars here. You have to be honest with you, Davey Johnson's not that far behind from Nick Smith. But the thing is, even if Davey Johnson passes Nick Smith, Johnson would still have to finish 7 positions ahead to clinch the championship. Now, if they tied, I'm not entirely sure who would get the points lead or who would win the championship, because they both have the same amount of wins. They both won one race so far this season. The second tiebreaker would be whoever finished highest of the other guy more times. So, basically, Nick Smith and Davey Johnson would go head-to-head, and whoever beat the other driver more would win the championship. If that is tied, then it goes to second place finishes. I know. That's what happens when it comes to these points races where the championship comes down to a points battle. I ramble on about something that doesn't make sense, and I don't do it right. That's why I am considering this. I really don't like the idea, but I am considering, when we do the Turkey Hill Series and the Napa Truck Series next time, to implement that chase format that NASCAR decided to implement in the Xfinity Series and the Camping World Truck Series, because I don't want to have another series like this, where, we're talking about the points, and I just go off on some tangent and I don't make sense, because it's just confusing. It really is. Ooh, 46 slipped up there in the... 46 of Nicholas Gratton slipped up there. See, this has not been the best of races for me. I mean, come on, I'm about to start the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. When it comes to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, I gotta be on my game. But, I'm not really on my game right now. Julian Quintero taking the lead from Trey Bartow late in the going here in the Krispy Kreme 240. Dean Wickert's still part of this thing. He's going to get to the inside of Trey Bartow for second. The 25 still has a shot at getting the win here. The 4 of Tristan Allen has moved himself up to 4th place. We got Reagan Whitlock now in 5th in the number 92. Blaine Keys running in 6th. There goes Bartow back to the inside of Dean Wickert for second. And as they're battling hard, the 64 of Julian Quintero is pulling away, trying to get the last win of the season here in the ARCA Racing Series. There goes Tristan Allen to the inside of Dean Wickert for third. Nick Smith has closed up to these guys. He's the champion. Only unless something happens to him. Remember, Jesse Turner had that problem earlier. If that happened to Nick Smith, Davey Johnson's going to win this championship. But Davey Johnson, man, I don't know where he is now. He's fallen back to 18th. On the verge of going to 19th as Cole Baker goes to the inside of him. It has not been the best of days for that 54 at all. And Nick Smith, he continues to move his way on this inside, but like I said, remember what happened to Jesse Turner earlier in the race? That may happen to Nick Smith. I'm not saying that it will. I mean, there are plenty of other cars in the racetrack for that to happen to, but you never know. But I seriously doubt that's going to happen. It's a very rare thing for a car to blow up in the middle of a race like that. Very rare. Anyways, it's 2 laps to go in the season here in the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme, and I'd like to tell you guys that I really did not enjoy this series. I might not be returning it because it was kind of lame. It really was. I mean, I probably could have done better with the track selection. And, we're going to have we could have had a better points battle, but I think it was pretty close there near the end. And, congratulations to Nick Smith. He's going to pull off with this thing and grab the championship. He's going to lose a couple positions here, but I think he's going to be able to do it in that number 7. The white flag was taken by Julian Quintero, and I don't think anybody's going to get around him for this win. Oh, the 10 of Bartow's trying to get on that inside and get a run, but it's not going to be enough. Julian Quintero in the number 64 wins the Krispy Kreme 240, and Nick Smith in the number 7 wins the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme Championship. That did not sound right. But nonetheless, he's your champion. Nick Smith, with the most points this season, gets it done. And he might be the only ever champion of this series because I did not enjoy this series at all. And I'm finally telling you that, guys, this right now because I probably kind of told you that earlier, but I'm telling you this right now because this is the last race of the season. I don't have to do any more of it, and we can finally get on to the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Are you looking forward to that? I am. I'm glad this is over, but congratulations to Nick Smith anyways. You're the champion here in the ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. The official standings of the race right there. Julian Quintero, the winner, followed by Trey Bartow, Reagan Whitlock, Tristan Allen, Blaine Keys, Dean Wickard, Nicholas Gratton, Mason Powers, the champion Nick Smith, and Zachary Fitzwater. That's the top 10. Take a look at the rest of the results right here. And Jesse Turner had a valve issue. That's what knocked him out of the race. The only guy that failed to finish here tonight. Tonight. It's in the morning. This morning. Today. Whenever you're watching this, you could be watching it at night, so congratulations. Anyways, I'm telling you, this series really got to my head. I'm going to bring my A game for the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I'm going to be focused. I'm going to care about it, and it's going to be good. I'm going to make sure it's going to be good for you guys. So on Monday, you guys will see the Mello Yello SmoothFest from the Daytona International Speedway. That race will carry all the drivers who raced in season number 3 and are returning in season number 4. So if you raced in season number 2 or season number 1, but you did not race in season number 3, and you are in season number 4, let's put it this way. If you're in season number 4 and you did not race in season number 3, you're not in the Mello Yello SmoothFest. The Mello Yello SmoothFest is only to guys who are returning from the previous season, nobody else. And however many cars we get, that's how it is. I really like that event. It's a good way to start off the season. On Wednesday, you guys will see Daytona 500 qualifying, and that will determine the pole positions for the Daytona 500, the front row positions. So we're going to figure that out there. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, the whole fiasco we had in the Season 3 Daytona 500 will not happen. All 40 full-time guys will make the Daytona 500, and the duels will determine the 2 part-time guys. So the highest finishing part-time guy in duel number 1 and the highest finishing part-time guy in duel number 2 will make the 500. And of course, next Saturday you guys will see the 4th ever Daytona 500 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. It will now be a 40-lap race, upping it up by 10 laps from previous seasons, and it should be a very, very good event, as it always is here, there at Daytona. That's it for me. I've had it. So congratulations to Julian Quintero, and congratulations to Nick Smith, the champion here in the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series, presented by Krispy Kreme. I hope you guys bared with me well enough. Sorry if I was just weird. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you didn't like this series. I'm sorry too. And I don't know. I just lost it. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. It's the ARCA Racing. You know what? You know what the ARCA series is famous for, especially when it comes to the Inter 2003 community? ARCA brakes. This series gave me ARCA brakes in my mind, okay? So this isn't returning. I'm sorry. These 3 series, Modifieds may return. The ARCA series and the Modern Super Truck series, they're just, no. I'm not doing those again. I'm sorry. I did not enjoy this. And that's why I can't wait to get to the Chick-fil-A Cup series. I promise I'll do better for you guys. I'm sorry that this race was kind of boring. I'm sorry my announcing wasn't good. But I promise you, I will do good in the Chick-fil-A Cup series. I will. For you guys. I will. I just will. So thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Julian Quintero on winning. And congratulations to Nick Smith, the champion here in the NRLOA ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. I will see you guys later. I didn't do this right again. Thank you guys very much for watching. Okay, that's it. I've had it. I will see you guys later. See you Monday for something better than this. Way better. Way better. I've hit the point of no return now. I just keep on going on and on. I don't stop. Why am I not stopping? I don't know. This is weird, you know that? I'm talking, and I just keep on talking. How cool is that? I'm sorry, guys. You may think I've lost my mind, but no, I haven't. I'm just trying to get all the stupid out of me before I do the Chick-fil-A Cup series. Let's just put it that way. So, yeah. Thank you guys very much for watching. Here are the final point standings for the ARCA Racing Series presented by Krispy Kreme. And I will see you guys at Daytona for the Mello Yello SmoothFest. I'll see you guys later.